What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Off the Ball podcast with me, your host, Chris LeBron. And today's show is sponsored by the Off the Ball Network. So on today's show, I'm bringing back the NBA draft prospect profile shows. I know you guys have been really, asking me to get back on this. So I'm excited to have this guest on today. He's definitely one of the most underrated prospects in this class. I got Craig Randall, former UT Martin player. Craig, what's going on, my man?
What's up, my guy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How's everything going? Obviously, crazy world we're living in the last, it feels like, 10 years, the last 8 months. But how you been handling everything for the last 8 months with COVID and everything?
Just trying to stay around basketball as much as possible. It was rough in the beginning, but just try to find as many resources as I can to help me stay in the weight room, lift at home, work out outside. So, everybody's had to adjust. So it's definitely been a big adjustment period for everybody, not even just people in this draft. So, but it's been fun. You learn a lot from this experience, so it's been cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a big adjustment for everyone. That's for sure. So when was the first, when did you get first, told that, everything's gonna get shut down? Obviously, you're so used to going to the gym, waking up, going to the gym, practicing, all that. And then when did you get that, guys, like it's a wrap, like you can't come back, it's over, like.
Probably, we had probably just got home from a workout, and they had said it's your last day in here. So, because we were working out at a high school, so the high schools were shutting down. So they were stopped letting kids go to school, so they were about to shut the whole school down. So that was probably a rough time for me. The good thing about it, it was just getting like kind of warm where I was. So, and there's a lot of outside courts, so we could still go work on a little bit of stuff, finishes, ball handling. So but that was it for me. My brother probably told me I was sitting down. I'm pretty sure I was laying down chilling. He was like, "Can't work out no more." I was like, "Oh,
that's great."
Tough.
So they didn't because I know living in New York City, like when they said they shut down everything, they shut down everything. Like even like they wouldn't even like basketball hoops outside. Like they took them down or they locked them. Like they would put a lock. So they
didn't do that. They didn't do all that here because it wasn't as bad in Washington. So like. It got bad for a little bit, and they shut down certain parts. Like in Portland, like it's like probably 45 minutes away. Like in Oregon, they did that. They shut down They shut down all the parks. But like if it was like a hoop just outside of the school, like in a parking lot, they didn't do much to it. So they might have, if they saw us, they might have sent us home. But we didn't get caught, but so it was cool.
Bro, like it got crazy over here where like there's literally not a single hoop was every New York City hoop. Yeah, it was.
New York was wild.
Everything you heard in the news, social media was just times that by like 10. Like it was
it was like crazy for me.
The first couple weeks here, it was like a awards like Call of Duty. Like it was like crazy. Like it felt like and I still had to go to work. It's like,
I couldn't even imagine.
Because I still had, I didn't stop working. I had to keep working. So like just going out to work, I'm like, this is crazy. Like it's like a ghost town. So it's, and like I said, they shut down all the basketball hoops. Like even like if you found one, like I said, they locked it. So even if you thought you could play, it was dummy locked. Like you couldn't even play. It was crazy.
That's crazy. That's wild.
It was crazy. So I that's why I asked. Cause I had a lot. Some of the guys I've had on my show, they said the same thing. Like they took down all the hoops and all that. So obviously, you can still practice. You can work on your your dribbling and some defensive drills and all that. But you still need a hoop. You got to work on it.
You got to put the ball in the basket.
You got to put the ball in the basket, right? That's how you get better, right? So I it was just crazy. So what was the one thing you had to work on? You were working on the most once obviously when all that stuff went down.
My ball handling and finishing at the basket. That was big for me in college. Just getting to the basket, slowing myself down, knowing when to use certain moves like a Euro step, like just the timing of it. So, I mean, it was good for me in a way, COVID hitting.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me more time to prepare. One, it gave everybody more time too. Then pushing the draft back, all that
Yeah.
stuff. But my ball handling got way better. Just my knowledge of knowing when to use certain moves when I get to the basket, when to slow down, when to speed up. So, I mean, that's the two biggest things we worked on the most.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, obviously COVID sucks and all that, but you probably worked on stuff that you probably wouldn't have worked on as much
Right.
if it's a regular,
Some
getting ready. Yeah.
people probably didn't utilize it as much as they should have.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, my brother was always big on taking advantage of time. So
Mm-hmm.
we use our time wise and we got stuff done. So
Yeah.
it is what it is for some people. You either did something or you didn't. We're gonna see
Exactly.
soon. So
Exactly right. You've had for a lot of
right,
dudes, like
yeah.
they've had what we're talking. Like I said, we're in October. Like we're talking
We're
about
supposed to be
7 months
in
from now.
June.
Yeah, like if you did not work on what you needed to work on for 7 months, like
Just don't want it.
you
I
don't want
I
it,
can't
right?
tell you.
And
Yeah, that's what I feel.
that's probably maybe an advantage for most drafts, where
Right.
you only have a few months from after the
Mm-hmm.
March Madness and all that, where you got a few months to
Yep.
get work on stuff. Now the draft's still a month away.
Right. So you
So
still got time.
you
Still,
got
you got
8
a month
months.
from now.
For some people it's
Yeah.
even more longer, right? If you played
Right.
overseas, and some guys it's a year that it's gonna
Right.
be. So if you haven't worked on your stuff, that's on
You
you.
just don't want it. Yeah,
You just
it's on
don't
you
want it,
for
right?
sure.
That's
Right.
for sure. All right. So let's bring it back a little bit. So just talk about, growing up, you have a very basketball oriented family. I've seen like you guys breaking records in high school, your whole family.
Yeah.
You got brothers and stuff that are hoopers though. So just talk to me about growing up with a basketball centric family.
Oh yeah, that's all we know in my house. My mom, she was the first D1 athlete in my house. She went to Kent State.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom, my dad played. In my house, if you don't play basketball, you would
Mm-hmm.
probably be looked at as like an odd person now. Like you don't fit that family just
Mm-hmm.
because that's just what we're known for. Like back home where we're from, everybody knows my family for basketball. So you see one of us, we hoop. And it was fun for me to both my brothers were recruited. So like my middle brother between me and my oldest brother, he was very highly recruited by a lot of schools. Like I went on all the visits to Harvard, Wake Forest. I didn't go on the Stanford visit, but I've been everywhere because of him and my older brother, AAU tournament. So it was just fun to experience it and see it before I really got to play and everything. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. They're just having that, everyone's a hooper, so you're just
Yeah.
around that. So how were the games growing up, with you and your brothers and mom and pops? How were those games?
My mom, she stopped playing when I started to really play. My dad, he couldn't really guard anymore, but he'll shoot. Like he can still to this day he'll still try to shoot with us, but nobody in my family can beat me in shooting. But growing up, it was rough for me. I didn't get anything easy. So I didn't start winning games until I was probably 18.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 18. My middle brother between me and my older, I just started beating him last year. For the first time, just start beating him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I never got anything easy. And that's probably the one thing why I'm so rough when I play everybody else, because when I got a chance to play against other people that weren't them, I had to kill them because I ain't know nothing else. Like, this is my chance. The only people I get to beat up on. So, oh, man.
Oh, you're good.
My fault.
You're good.
It's the only people I get to beat up on. So, if I play anybody else, I was on it. I'm on your head. I got to kill you. So
for sure. But isn't it crazy?
Into me.
Isn't it crazy? You see all the the guys who are all stars, MVPs, and they said their toughest challenge growing up was their brother or something. That was their toughest person they had to guard or whatever. That guarded them. It's always crazy that it's always tough. When you're going against your brother, your brothers, or sisters or whatever growing up. Those are the guys that really put you to get to that
definitely
level.
The toughest two people I had to guard were my brothers. If I had definitely for sure. I mean, and I played a lot of tough people, a lot of them, but those are the two toughest for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. So talk to me about the basketball scene, and you're from Youngstown, Ohio, right?
Yeah.
So just talk to me about the basketball scene over there.
I mean, it's big. Not a lot of people really come out of my city. So I mean, Terry Rozier, he's from Youngstown, but he went to school in Cleveland. like called Shaker Heights, which I ended up transferring from playing in my city too, up to that area, and I played at a school called Medina. But I mean, not a lot of people really get a chance. It's either you don't hoop, you into other stuff that you shouldn't be into.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I mean, for me, that was one of the things my parents always taught. We just use basketball as a way for me to just not be involved in other stuff. So, but I mean, it's a lot of kids now. Like I got a couple of dudes that one's at West Virginia, one's at South Florida. So I mean, they're coming up. They're gonna be next year's draft, probably both of them. So I mean, I'm probably one of the first to, besides my brother, one of the first to do it. So I mean,
that's dope.
It's cool.
That's dope. All right, so you go from Youngstown, now you go to Arizona, right, for your senior year, right? Or
yeah.
So talked about that transition from going to from Youngstown, Ohio to Arizona, and how that transition went.
Way different. Everything, just the school. This one is hot, like it's hot as ever. My first day of school was it was 113 degrees. My first day of school. So like, and the way school is, like you get to go outside in between like periods because you gotta like walk. It's like it's really different. But basketball wise, it was probably the best decision I ever made going to play from like Bibby. I mean, anytime you get a chance to learn, anytime you get a chance to learn from one of the best point guards, in my opinion, to play, you don't turn that down. So, I mean, it was a good experience for me. He helped me a lot. I mean, even me going to Memphis had a lot to do with him. So, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Just the West Coast life period. Like, I like it over here. So, it's cool.
Yeah, especially, you go from, Ohio. I mean, I'm sure it gets cold, it gets cold. So, going to where, did you adjust fine with, dealing with the heat, because I'm sure that
it was cool
for a little bit.
Maybe got to December, no snow. I was still in shorts, so I didn't mind it at all. I was good.
Because I have a friend who did that, who made that move from New York to Arizona, and they're like, I'm like, you didn't transition, like you didn't, obviously New York City's so fast paced, and it gets cold here too. It's like, nah, I was over it after like a month when it was, when it's December and it's still 95 degrees.
It's real easy out there.
You can get adjusted to it. Yep. I was like, all right, okay, that's cool. But like you said, you played for Mike Bibby, who's obviously one of the best, one of the most underrated, underappreciated point guards to ever play. I mean, obviously everyone knows what he did for Sacramento and all that. You had staying with the Knicks and all that, Miami. So what was the one thing that you learned from him, playing under him?
Just how to be coachable. I mean, he's gonna be rough on you too, so he's gonna expect a lot of you when you're one of his top guys. So.
And he's brolic too, right? He got big. I feel like he's bigger now than
when I saw him. When I saw him on TV,
he was not that big in the pros. He was not that big. He just
lifts a lot too. Like everybody be saying a lot. He works out every day. Like that's the thing about him, and that's one of the things I always picked up on from him. Like his work ethic hasn't changed from when he was in the league. Like he still gets shots up. Like he just works out. That's all he knows. That's what he does. So it's like picking that up and just being able to be a better leader on and off the floor. He was big on being able to tell guys where to go. You got to know this, you got to know that. Like, and the people around him, like the staff we had, like it was just all around. It prepared me to go to college. Like playing for him prepared me to be able to be a D1 athlete. So like I just soaked it all in.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't learn from him, I mean, if you can't learn from then like you said, you don't want it, right?
Don't want to play.
Like you said before, like if you don't learn from because I feel like a lot of like kids, like they get stubborn. Like I've heard stories where kids are playing for like former pros, and they're just so stubborn, and they just don't like, they just feel like that they're the shit and they don't care. But it's like that's an NBA pro. He's a 15-year vet. He's played in he's played against the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq, right?
He's
game sevens.
Games.
He's playing in some big games. Big shots.
And he won't even allow you to be that type of guy, like to be that stubborn, arrogant type dude. Like that's not how he carries himself, and he gonna let you know too. Like he'll tell you, if you're not good, you're not good. Like you play horrible. He's never gonna sugarcoat anything. It's either this or it's that with him. So like for him, I mean, he was just trying to teach us how to be pros early. So we never really learned. We weren't little kids and we weren't high schoolers. So it was fun though. I enjoyed it.
That's dope. That's dope. He's one of my favorite dudes. You know, those battles he had in the 2000s with you know, even though they got screwed, man. I don't know if he mentions that they, you know,
he don't talk about it
in 2002 them refs, man, they had that crooked ref too in that series.
They did him bad. He don't
dirty.
talk about
I don't care.
A lot, but
he might keep it low, but you know, I know deep down he's like, damn, they took one.
Yeah, because he would have got a ring one of them times. I feel like
they were gonna win that one because I think that was the year the Lakers were gonna play the Nets. What was it, Nets or Indiana?
Easy.
They would have.
That's easy.
Yeah, they would have got one. They would have got one.
They probably did bad. Yeah.
So I know that.
Talk about it a lot. So.
Yeah, I know that probably eats him up a little bit because you know that crooked ref helped a lot. But you know that's amazing that you know you got to play under Bibby and just learn so much because I'm sure you just soaked it all in and that helped you know with your process with college. So about that, you know, how was the process of college? Because you know obviously you know you wound up going to Memphis, but just talked about the whole process of getting into because I think that's just fascinating. You know, I'm sure you're getting a bunch of schools that want you to come for visits, and you got this school, and then like this is an important decision for you and your for the rest of your, you know, for the rest of your basketball career and academic, you know, career. So how did that process go down as far as picking Memphis and just how many schools were getting at you? Like I just to me, like I said, it's fascinating when I got to when I get to talk. That's the one thing I want to get into when I talk to a lot of these guys. It's like, yo, how was the process? Because that's just crazy when a bunch of schools want you to come to their school. Like,
I mean, they all when I was on the East Coast, when I was in Ohio, all the MAC schools recruited me. So like every MAC school offered me. So Kentucky, not Kentucky, Kent State, OU, Akron, Miami of Ohio, like all those schools. And then I had like Oakland, and then I transferred. When I moved to Arizona, that's when like it kind of picked up because that summer I finished my AAU season with Team Bibby with his AAU team, but I was playing because I played with the number 10 player in the nation, Carlton Bragg. So like I was playing in front of Kentucky, I was playing in front of O State, I was playing in front of all those schools. So like Minnesota got in there heavy, Seton Hall came in there heavy, St. John's came in there heavy, but they came in heavy when I moved. So when I started playing for Mike Bibby, that's when they really started to watch. And then I got all the West Coast schools. So Gonzaga came, St. Mary's came, UW was at a lot of my games. It was crazy because it's different. Like some West Coast schools, they don't even recruit East Coast guys because they don't come over there. You know what I'm saying? And then East Coast schools don't really go get West Coast guys sometimes because it's like you don't go over there. But I've always played with good players, so coaches have always been around. And then some coaches that recruited me, they just knew me because of Kyle, my second brother. So like they just been watching me grow up. But it was crazy. Like in Memphis, actually, my senior year, I messed up school at the end kind of. So I was gonna go to St. John's, but I needed. Yeah, I was gonna go to St. John's. Like, it was done. It was a done deal. Like,
so you signed a letter in Tennessee?
No, like I was committed. Like we committed on the phone. Like, it was gonna be it. Okay. Yeah, and then I messed up something with school, and I needed one more class to take, and they didn't want to wait, which I understand because you know what I'm saying. Most schools don't want to wait. So then after that, I was gonna go to South Florida. So I'm on my visit at South Florida. I'm going to the office to commit. Another kid was on a visit before, he had just left when I got there. I'm going to the office to commit. He had just called him to commit. So like we was like, okay. So like
that's the game. That's a crazy game. Like because they have to
what you gonna do?
Exactly. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then Coach Mike and the head coach at the time at Memphis was Josh Pastner. Him and Coach Mike were boys when he was at Arizona. So they called me late. I went on my visit up there. They were willing to wait for me to take that class. So I took that class. I missed all the summer school at Memphis, but I took that class and then we chose Memphis. And after that, I mean, it was cool up there. Because if you go to Memphis and you're a basketball player at Memphis, no matter what, like you're something up there because it don't matter what.
Because because obviously Coach Cal was there and he built a pretty damn good program there. Obviously Derrick Rose and they got some hoopers over there. So Memphis basketball. Penny Hardaway. People forget Penny.
Now it's insane. Yeah. Now if you play for Memphis, it's like you're a celebrity out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're from Memphis and you go to Memphis, you're really a celebrity because it's like you stay home and like they really love that. Like if you stay, like one of my closest friends, he's in the league now. He played for the Nets, Jeremiah Martin.
Okay.
Like he stayed home, so it's like you get so much love. Like it's crazy just to be around that too. So,
yeah.
But I mean, it was fun though.
That's great. Yeah, and then you mentioned the St. John's thing, man. They could use some hoopers, man. The East Coast basketball, especially in New York. The New York. I've been talking about this a lot. The New York City basketball scene hasn't been the same. Where they talk about the pros and college and high school.
It would have been tough too, because it would have been me and Shamari Pons, both two.
Yeah, you and Shamari. Oh man, you and Pons would have killed it, man.
Yeah, we'd have been tough. And he killed it. Like he was tough.
Yeah,
like,
he did his thing. But both of you guys,
because just the way he let him play, like he let him hoop like that. Like every school, every coach lets you do that. Yeah. And so that's how they sold it for like, what to let y'all rock out. Yeah, so it was like, like I'm, me, I want to rock out. I'm freshman in college. You want to let me rock out? I'm with that.
You just had to deal with the coldness and the craziness of New York City.
I would have been cool with the cold because I'm used to the East Coast, but I had never been to New York. Like I had never been I've been to New York when I was little, but I had never been to New York. So to be at school in New York would have just been crazy. Like playing at Madison Square Garden for some of my home games, like I was for it. Like I was sold. Like it was over with for me.
It's an easy sell too. It's because I had when I finished because I went to a junior college. And because my grades were trash too, and so when I graduated, I was going to go to St. John's, and I was going to work for the basketball team and all that because that's what I was, what I went to school for. So I was in for it, but they wanted it was crazy. The process, like you said, the process is crazy. How they did handle things, I'm like, damn, it's crazy how they handle stuff. I never got to go and all that, but St. John's was always like, to play at the Garden. Like that's just
that would have been crazy, but it's cool. Things work out the way it's supposed to work out.
Everything happens for a reason. So you go to Memphis, all right? So you're a Memphis Tiger, and so just talked about the process of now going from high school to going to college. Now, how was that transition for you?
Rough, just because it wasn't rough.
You're not the first one that said that on the show. Like
to grow up, but it's
tough.
I missed summer school. So, like, I missed all the summer lifting, all the summer workouts. Like, so by the time I got there, they had already went through 2-3 months of being in college, and I hadn't.
And and there was a lot of guys in your class, right? You were like, it was a pretty big class, right?
Yeah, it was me, Jeremiah Martin, both the Lawsons. We had, like, Dante Scott. We had Nick Marshall. We had my man Brody, Randall Brody. Okay. So, what? We all and at Memphis, like, they had a freshman house, so we all lived together. So it was like 3 upstairs on this side, 3 upstairs on that side, and then 2 downstairs. Okay. So we was all in the same house. We was cool. Like everybody was close. Like, but our team was we still had Shaq Goodwin. We had Ricky Tarrant who played overseas. Now we had Trayshawn Burrell, Markel Crawford. Like we just had a tough team. So I went into like a very good team, but it was rough for me because most of them dudes that been there, I never been to Memphis. I never been around guys where I just like wasn't the best player, like flat out the best player. Like you can't tell. I never been around that. So when I got there, it's just an adjustment because you got to get used to it. Like you're not the guy no more. So
I don't think people realize that. Like everyone assumes you just go to college and you just go, you start off where you were in high school, but you have to have there's an adjustment period. Like we see that, definitely. And I don't think enough people see that. Like,
I mean, some dudes keep they like I'm that guy thing because they go in the systems where they're gonna build it around you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys had that, but for me and it wasn't that for me. So like, it was a big adjustment period, just trying to get used to that, and then trying to get used to the physicality. Because at Memphis, it's grimy in practice. Like it wasn't easy down there. Like it's way different. Like it's way different. Like I tell people all the time, like, I'm not built to go to Memphis. Like I never understood it until you got there, but like you're just not cut. Like it's not gonna be. It's not sweet there at all. Like so, but it was different for me. But I enjoyed it. Like it helped me be me now. To like just in terms of how I look at the game, like appreciating it, even like how tough you got to be to play. Like you're gonna have to go through some stuff, and you're not always gonna be that guy. So like you gotta figure something out. What are you good at that somebody else isn't better than you at? And I figured that out towards the end of the season. So, but I mean, it was fun. And then we changed coaches. So like my freshman year, I had Josh Pastner, and then Toby got the job.
Yeah.
My second year, and then
He went to Georgia Tech, right? He went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah. So then everything changed again because his system is way different than Pastner's system. So it's like playing for a Hall of Fame coach now. It's way different.
Yeah, because
that experience was fun.
Yeah, because Tubby, he won a national championship at Kentucky. So and he's coached coached a long time. So that definitely different strategies.
Yeah.
So where was that moment when you're at Memphis where what was the toughest time at Memphis for you?
The first probably 3 weeks when I first got there, just getting into like preseason workouts. Because I hadn't worked out 3 times a day where we do conditioning, you lift, and you practice. So that was just new to me. I mean, every day, plus class, plus study hall, like, and then you got to get up the next day and do it all over again. So it's like, it's tough. It's a different transition. Your days turn into, and you got homework. Like, it's just, college is just different. Like, going from high school to college, like, I tell people all the time now, like,
it's an adjustment.
Y'all better appreciate high school. Like, please do. When you get to college and, like, them coaches is different. They expect a lot out of you. Like, I mean, they paying for you to go to school for free. So, like, you better do your job.
I mean, I know it was an adjustment for me, and I wasn't a college basketball player. So I can imagine on top of that, being a college athlete, on top of, all right, now you have to, do your thing, practice and all this, and then be ready for the games and all that. And then on top of it, still be a student athlete, right? That's
you get used to that for a while, though. You start to pick up little things where you can do this, where you can do that. You start to just get used to it and figure it out. So after about the first 3 weeks, I just started to just buy into a lot of different stuff I wasn't used to doing. So and that helped me a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I went to a JUCO when I originally went to a community college, and I wasn't ready at all. Like I wasn't ready. I was still in high school mode. So I didn't do good. But then I went to and then when they kicked me out. They kicked me out of school. Then I go to a JUCO. So I'm in school with a lot of athletes. I'm on a lot of athletes that were D1 playing D1, and now they got to go. You got to have that humble pie and go to that route, right? And I'm talking to them like, yo, so like, what school? And we're talking about big time schools, Syracuse, you go to St. John's or UCLA, a couple guys, and just like that route, and it was just crazy seeing that. Like they're like, yo, college is hard. College is hard. That transition is like you said, you go from being a star in high school, you're the guy, everyone's praising you, this and that, and then you go to college and you gotta earn your stripes again. You gotta earn it now. Now it's different, right? You gotta earn it, So I mean, college is hard, no matter what. But
for sure.
So what was the decision behind transferring from Memphis? Was it just playing time, or what was that decision like?
It wasn't even that, because I played a lot. I played the 6 most minutes. Like I played 25 minutes a game almost my sophomore year. So like I wasn't even worried about that. We just thought I just need to be in a system where I could play more, like do more. Because out there I was just I was just catch and shoot threes and playing defense, and like that didn't bother me. Like I had no problem playing my role. Like, I had got really good at just catch and shoot and guarding. Like that's what that's how I played. That's how I got on the floor. So, like I was fine with that.
That's cool that you understand your role. Like
because in the league, like it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be back to square one. You got to adjust again because you're not gonna be that guy again.
Exactly, but right. You're gonna go.
I understand that already.
Exactly, right?
So some dudes don't.
And then if you don't adapt and you don't feel your role in the league, they're gonna be like, all right, we'll get the next dude, right? And they don't care.
They ain't tripping.
Exactly,
they can
right?
find
That's why you
somebody
gotta
else to do
embrace
that.
Exactly. You gotta embrace your role.
we just thought I could do something more. So when I was transferring, I was actually gonna go to the University of Akron because that's where Keith Dambrot was. And like when we had talked, and I didn't want to go nowhere else. Like I wanted to play for him. Like that was my guy when I was in high school. Like he recruited me the most when I was in Ohio. Like I was always around him, so that was cool. And then he had called me and said, "Don't commit. I'm taking a new job. Just wait." So 2 days later, take the Duquesne job. He said, "Okay, come on." So I went on my visit. It was close to an hour from where I'm from in Pittsburgh. It's an hour from Youngstown. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to the crib." So I just decided to go there.
Okay.
And then got there. Yeah.
So it's another adjustment period, right? Now it's like you're a freshman all over again, right? You got to sit out. Now, not only you got to go to a new school, like get adjusted to a whole new program, whole new style, whole new teammates and all that. Now you got to sit out. So how tough was that, like that process of just sitting out, like waiting? Now you got to wait, and
it can be tough. And in a way, it's like you can use COVID as thing. You can either waste your time or you can just like really like use your time and get better. And so I saw what I did. Like off the court stuff, I struggle off the court more. Like just because I had no really no responsibility, I just had class. So like just you know what I'm saying? But I mean I did fine. We would have no like I wasn't in trouble. It's just different because you're not playing, so you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like all right. But on the court, like that's when it turned on for me, like working out. You got to do it more than like one workout or just working out and shooting is not enough. So I would work out before practice, lift, then practice, then get shots up, and then come back that night and get more shots up. So like I just became like really addicted to it. So like that's all I did, like nonstop, like the whole time for a year and a half until I left. That's it. I wasn't playing, so you just hoop.
Did you play with Isaiah Mike? Because I know Isaiah Mike went to
Duquesne. When I came, he left.
Oh, okay. So because he transferred to SMU. Okay, yeah. Because
only 3 people, 4 people, maybe 5 people stayed that was on that team the year before. Because Coach Danvers got rid of everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's different. He's a different. See, playing for him is different too. Like most guys don't know that. Like Coach Danvers, he's different. Like he's wild. But he's like one of them coaches where like he expects so much. So like if you can't do that, if you don't want to do that, he'll tell you like maybe like it's just not the place for you. Like he'll tell you I'll help you go somewhere else. But like you're gonna do what I say, do it how I say it, and that's it. But he's one of the best coaches ever though. Like, I would say that that is my guy to this day. Like I love him to death. Like that's my man.
Okay, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So, what was the decision behind going to like now you transfer from Duquesne, right? So now you're going through this process again, right? So how did you finally get to go to UT Martin?
A situation happened at school with one of my other teammates, so we can't talk about that. But it was just we gotta go. You gotta take that step. So it's all right, and then. My coach at UT Martin, Anthony Stewart, he recruited Kyle at Wyoming. He was at Wyoming. So, like, we had known him before, which was fine. And then UT Martin they said, you come here, we're going to get you cleared to play this year right away. And I was like, all right, that's one of the only schools saying that. We're going to let you play. We're going to put the ball in your hands. So I was like, that's why I left to go to Duquesne. So, like, why not keep it going? So when I got there, it was just like, all right, I get there, and then they play probably after Christmas break. So we come back on Christmas break. They play one game, still not cleared. 2 games, still not cleared. And I'm getting anxious. Like, all right, and I got to a point where it was the day I got cleared. I called my dad and I said, just tell him forget it and just try to get me a whole nother year so I could just play 2 years, 2 full years. Because I was over it. Like I was tired of waiting. Like
I mean, because at that point you hadn't played in a while. Like
I hadn't played basketball in 500 and something days. I counted. Like I was counting the days. Like I hadn't played basketball in 500 and some days, and I was like itching.
Yeah,
like, it was bad.
At this point, you just
I was just like, all right, I'm over it. Yeah. So I called my dad. And then my coach called me, like, while I'm on the phone with my dad. I'm in the gym, too, sitting on the step. I just got done working out. He called me. He goes, you ready to play? I said, yeah, I've been ready to play. You know that. He said, okay, you playing on Saturday. And I was just like, oh. And from that point, like my whole world changed. Like my whole energy towards it all. Like I was ready to play too. I hadn't been doing nothing but working out. So like most guys, you know what I'm saying, hadn't got enough reps up, but like I ain't doing nothing but shooting every day in the gym every day, like nonstop.
Yeah.
But UT Martin was good for me though. It helped me show that I can do other things other than just shoot and guard. So it allowed me to play my game.
That's good. That's good. So what's the biggest takeaway you take from your whole collegiate career? Because obviously you had a few stops, but like you said, you always learned in each stop. So what was the one thing you take away from your whole college career?
I feel like the appreciation for the game. I took that away the most. Like my appreciation at each school grew for the game. Like just like because it can be gone. So like just be preparing, and next thing you know, all right, you got to get up and go to the next thing. And it's just like, all right. So you really got to have like a very tough mental too to go through the stuff I went through when it came to leaving school and stuff like that. So it was just those situations were just it made me now like I've really like most guys couldn't have went through what I went through to get to where I'm going.
Yeah, a lot of guys would have cracked after the first
for sure.
You went to Memphis, like you went to a big time program. A lot of people, a lot of dudes would have been like they would have been like, no, I gotta get back to that high level. And then like then you never hear about them again. You just kept fighting and fighting. Like you didn't play for, like you said, for almost 600 days. You kept fighting. I just want to hoop. Like I don't care. Like this is hoop. Like you said.
I mean, it can either break you or make you. That's it.
Exactly.
It made me. So I mean, I'm fortunate for all the stuff I go through. I took it for granted sometimes, but now it's like looking back, I appreciate the hard stuff. Like I'm cool with it. I can live with the results I'm gonna get now. So it's whatever.
That's good though. That's good. But all right, so the draft process, like how have you gone about the draft process? What's the one thing you've been working on most, to get, because you've had a lot of, like you said, like we said, you've had a long time to get to work on whatever you need to work on. So how's that process going as far as getting ready for the draft and all that?
It's been fun. For me, I feel like all like just learning the ins and outs of just the league period has been. I might have had more of an advantage than other people just because my brother played in the league. So it's like I got somebody who's already played teaching me things I need to know how to do, things I need to know about the league, everything. So I've enjoyed it. I mean, this is probably the most I've like really bought in and just listened and enjoyed the process for real. So for me, it's been really fun. Like I've loved every second of it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, so much time to work on everything. Yeah. So what's been the one thing you've worked on the most, that you've, that you felt like you was a weakness of yours?
Ball handling and finishing at the rim. And I could always shoot, but I mean, increasing my range and consistently knocking down shots, we've really worked on that too. So, I mean, when my brother talked about role. So in the league, obviously, I'm going to have a role. I'm not going to be the star player. There's a lot of like guards in the league.
Yeah, guard heavy into him.
So it's like I'm not going to go in there and just take over. So it's fine. Like Tyler Harrell, his went in spurts. Like he started out doing this, started out doing that, and then he ended with the ball in his hand. He started in the finals at point guard. So it's like, I mean, but we prepared for that. So like just play your role, know your role, star in your role. You're going to be all right. So.
Exactly. Starring your role, right? Giving the league is built on role players, right? Like there's a bunch of role players who have made a 10, 15 year career. Just be playing their role, right? If they're a shooter, be a shooter. If you're supposed to be a screen setter, a rebounder, I feel like there's so many dudes that they all want to be the dude, right? And not everyone can be the dude, right? Like
not everybody can do that,
right?
And I'm okay with that.
Career. Early in your career, you gotta play your role. So
I'm not tripping. Yeah. So this been fun though.
Yeah. So how did you enjoy the bubble? Did you enjoy the playoffs? It was crazy.
Yeah,
right?
I liked it. I liked the.
Did you like the field? Did you like where you used? Did you get
no fans?
No fans and all that?
Yeah, I mean, some people say like that's why some players play so good because they ain't had no fans, nobody watching them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, I mean, honestly, the people who play good, those are the ones who could really hoop because like they had all that time off, and some dudes came back like really killing, like Devin Booker. Like he came back
Jamal
really
Murray,
killing.
like Donovan
like
Mitchell, like those
so
are
like
killers.
in my opinion, like them dudes, like they can really go. Like you don't need that much time to get prepared and get ready and get in a rhythm. Like they just out there hooping because that's all you can do. You ain't got nobody out there watching you. You ain't got what 70,000 people or 100,000 people in there going crazy every night. Like it's just you and whoever you playing against. So I mean, I liked it.
You could play freely too, right? There's not that pressure, like you said.
That's all it is.
Fans yelling at you, calling you names, cussing at you, all that.
It's just basketball at that point.
You're just in the gym. You know, you're in the gym and you hoop. You just happen to be going against such and such. But you know, it's that like that's why I think the Suns did so good in the bubble. It's just like
everybody was like Dame,
Dame was killing. I mean, Dame would have done that regardless.
He would have done it. I feel like that too, but like that was perfect for him because now like he just like. He's so tough to me. Like I love Dame. That's my like I mess with Dame heavy.
Yeah,
but he's just different. Like all those guys are different.
And I was gonna ask you that. So who are your guys growing up? You know, who was your favorite players growing up, and who's your guys now?
Growing up, Kobe. Like that was it.
Kobe,
I was a Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan through it all, the good times, bad times. I don't know if I can be a fan in the league, so I'm not gonna trip.
Yeah,
but
that's
I mean. Now, I mean, I like Devin Booker a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Damian Lillard. If you don't like Dame, I don't know what to tell you.
It's Dame time.
Big Kevin Durant fan.
KD's
big Kevin Durant fan. I just like guys who can score. Like, I love guys who can score. If you can score, I'm gonna watch you. Like,
Kevin Durant makes it look effortlessly. Like for a guy like that's 7 foot tall that could do that. Like we've never seen a player like that. Like and I don't know if we'll ever see a player like that. But he's he's shooting high percentages too. Like
he's 40, 50, 90.
Yeah, he's shooting 50% for a guy who's taking perimeter shots. Like it's just crazy how smooth he is.
He's different.
Yeah, he's definitely different. You know, I know being a Knicks fan, you know, I'm still salty that, you know, he didn't come here.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
y'all be having it rough. Yeah.
Man, that's why, you know,
y'all be having it rough.
That's why I hate being a fan sometimes, you know. I have people that have had on the show and they're like, yeah, I'm not a fan. I just like watching ball. I'm not a fan of a team. It's like, that's so much better to watch hoop like that. Because being a Knicks fan, man, we've had
it's rough.
It's rough, man. We get told promise.
Bad.
Yeah, man. Bad's not the word. Like
they talking about
we haven't played basketball since 7 months, and they still talk like in the bubble. They're like, all right, the Knicks didn't do this. I'm like, yo, the Knicks haven't played a game. They haven't done nothing. You don't talk about the Hawks or the
no, because I guess they looking up right now. The Hawks is.
Yeah, I guess because they have, but like Charlotte, they don't get on Charlotte or you know all these other teams that don't have that much hope like us. But the Knicks, man, it's rough.
It's the reputation. They not used to y'all. I mean, guess the Knicks have been bad for years. I guess in a way,
been bad.
But I mean, the reputation is like the Knicks are known to be like good. I mean, Jordan's era they were tough. Like the Knicks were. You know what I'm saying, so I guess y'all not supposed to be bad.
Yeah, man.
Figure it out this year, though. Hopefully, they figure something out this year.
I hope so, man. But I wanted KD so bad to come here. Like, that was, and then the fact that he goes to Brooklyn, it's one thing if he goes back to if he goes to Golden State or he goes somewhere, but he went to the rivals, man. That's what hurt.
Because y'all got to see them all the time.
We got to see them all the time, man. And he's always trashing us, the Knicks fans. I'm like, oh, KD, you were my guy too. So but you said Kobe was your dude, man. And obviously, we lost Kobe this year. How tough was that? Just hearing that tragic news about his passing.
That's probably one of the toughest things ever. And I didn't even think it was real. Like I was on Twitter.
I didn't. It was crazy.
I just saw someone on Twitter and I looked over at my brother. So they said Kobe died. He's talking about no way.
Nobody. I think
that's like one of those dudes. That's like,
everyone's reaction was that.
Don't think Kobe was gonna die.
Nah.
Like, Kobe. So it was like no way. Then I Googled it. Then it came up on Google like it's a helicopter crash. So I'm like, all right. Then I go on Instagram and say the same stuff, and then somebody finally put it on Twitter for real, like a reliable source.
When you see the check mark and then someone says it, it's like, oh. When Woj tweet,
tweet,
it was like, oh, it's real. It's real.
Yeah. So it was rough though, especially to lose him and his daughter and see where she was going, because she was gonna be so good.
He was gonna change women's basketball, right? Because he was on that path, like
I feel like he would definitely did something. He was the kind of guy, like, he would have turned around, like the WNBA was gonna end up getting paid more money because of him.
Yeah,
like he would have pushed it.
Because he was already pushing it before that. Even before, like, they started really, like, he was going to games. Like, he was number one, front and center, with the movement. So, like, it was like, yo, he's going to, like, I know I appreciated the WNBA. And
I did.
Those girls go hoop, right? True hoopers know that those girls go hoop. Like, so, but there's a lot of regular people casuals who think, the league is trash because they can't dunk, they can't do this. Oh, I could beat them, which you probably can't. Half the people can't beat those girls, right?
No.
Those girls are they would destroy you. Like, Breonna Stewart will destroy you. Like, but
he's tough.
He was gonna put the back, like you said. He was gonna. I think they would have took another level where yes, they finally their CBA they finally got some more money, but he would have put them on another map, right?
For sure. I feel like that, but I mean, somebody else got to step up and do it now. So we'll see.
I feel like someone needs to, because I just hope that someone takes that, because I think that's very important for basketball, that we continue to keeping the WNBA relevant and making sure they get that same respect, because like I said, those girls could hoop, but everything is sad, man. I remember I had actually found out from a wrestling check, and I'm a big wrestling fan. So somebody posted in a forum, Kobe died. I'm like, yo, and it's wrestling, so they post a lot of fake stuff and all that. So I'm like, yo, everyone started trashing the dude, like, yo, stop posting fake stuff. That's disrespectful. You don't post that. And he's like, no, I'm not lying. It's like he was in a helicopter crash, and then you click it, and it goes right to TMZ. And even though TMZ could be a little fugazi,
but you gotta believe TMZ.
But it's like it goes right to their official website, and like, they break things that faster than a lot of people. So I'm like,
most people do, So it was tragic. It was definitely tragic.
It's definitely is tragic, but I hope we just everyone keeps the best way to keep Kobe, remember Kobe is just have that mindset, right? That mentality. So
you got to
keep.
Got to.
Yeah. But before I let you go, I want to ask you a few more questions. Who are your 4 favorite players of all time?
Of all time?
So who's your Mount? I'll put you on a hot seat. Who's your Mount Rushmore? It could be your favorite. It could be who thinks the best.
Kobe. AI. Jordan. I can't put Bron up there because he's still playing right now. But at the end of the day, Bron's going to be up there because he's got to put it. And I'm not even a big Bron fan. And Bron's from Ohio.
Yeah.
So it's like at this point in time, you got to respect him. So, like, I will put Bron up there.
Yeah, you got to. I think you have to put Bron. Like, even though, like you say, he's still – like, he can still add to his legacy, because, I mean, it's crazy that he's 35 and he's still – like the best player in the NBA. Like,
put Bron up there. Yeah. So if that's the case, then I'm putting KD up there.
KD, man.
Of all time. That would be mine of all time.
Personally, yeah. I mean, KD's.
And they're all guards, but those are very. I mean, Bron's a 4, KD's a 4, but like in my opinion, they're guards.
LeBron's a guard. LeBron's the. I wish they would have just let LeBron be a point from the jump, because he probably has the assist record right now.
Yeah, but his game just changed. Like, it evolved. Like, the longer he was in the league, the higher his IQ got. I mean, he could always pass and stuff.
Yeah.
But how he is now, it's just different. It's insane.
I always grew up. Jordan was the GOAT. Jordan's the GOAT. Jordan's the GOAT. But man, that LeBron has made me think different. Like, and a lot of people assume because my name's LeBron, my last name is LeBron, that I'm like I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but ever since the 3-1, when he came back from 3-1, I was like, man, like,
it's hard to go against.
You can't disrespect him no more. Like, the only thing people get on him is because he's 4-6, and I think that's silly, because you have to look. Like, it's funny how he's one of the few players where they just he's 4-6. Like, well, no, his teams were 4-6, right?
Yeah, but Bron,
look at those Cavs.
You got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're not gonna say Kyrie is 1-2, 1-3.
1-3.
You're not gonna say that.
You don't say that,
but it don't matter because it's not Bron. So I mean,
I feel like that.
You got to respect him now, though. You have to.
But it's funny. No one ever really mentioned that with players, like they're 4, like Magic, like Jerry West is 1-8 in the finals, right? But nobody ever says like, "Oh, he's 1-8. He can't be considered the GOAT." But yeah,
he's
people said, and he's the logo. Like,
that's why you don't talk about it because he's the logo. You can't say he's the logo.
And then Magic is 5-4 in the finals, right? People could be like, "Well, he's only has one more win than he has losses." Nobody mentions that, and people say he's the greatest of all. Like some people say he's the GOAT. Like Jordan, like yes, he's 6-0, but he has a lot of first round losses, right? You know, I think people just get lost in like
they just don't
like, just because you didn't get to the just because you like they think because Jordan's 6-0 in the finals, but yeah, he would probably tell you like, yo, those first round losses hurt just as much. Like
tough,
LeBron's never lost in the first round.
and honestly, he probably never will.
No.
He's either gonna win and retire. Like that's gonna be how he retires. He's gonna win and then retire.
Mm-hmm.
He won't retire like going out on the loss. He just doesn't seem like that type of dude. Yeah. He's gonna go out like, and he's not gonna get hurt because
he's not gonna go out like being like. How many times we see like I remember like Tracy McGrady. Like I remember seeing him in the finals, but he's playing garbage minutes. It's like damn, I don't want to see T-Mac like that, right? That's just weird. Like and you see seeing Patrick Ewing in a Sonics uniform and Hakeem in a like. I don't think LeBron's gonna end up like his career is not gonna end up like where he's just trash, right? He's gonna he may be 24 a game, you know, 8-8. But if that's his
some way he'll affect the game like insane.
Yeah, he's gonna affect the game, and he's gonna go out on top whether he's a champion or not.
His head is still at the rim in year 17.
I don't think we'll ever see. And I think people just need to learn to appreciate him, right? We always I'm sure you see it on social media. You see your guys you see people just trash him no matter what. Like, oh, he does, he can never be considered a GOAT. He can never be. It's like, why can't he? Like,
right. Like that's where I'm at with it. Like I'm at a very high appreciation for LeBron James. And if you don't appreciate LeBron James, you just don't appreciate basketball because right now, like we've never seen anybody do it, and we're probably never gonna see anybody do it again.
Yeah.
So it's
so why not appreciate it, right? Because he's doing stuff like this is we should like. I feel like in today's era, everyone likes seeing people's downfall. Like when Tom Brady loses, it's like he played like he lost to a backup quarterback, right? Like I always
I'm a big Tom Brady fan, so I hate it.
Man, I'm a Tom Brady mark.
I like the Buccaneers now. I'm not even a Patriots fan anymore because I'm just a Tom Brady fan.
I'm a Giants fan. I'm a New York Giants
fan.
Well,
you're New York,
But I love the story of Tom Brady, so I'm a big Tom Brady. I got the jerseys and all that. So like it was tough when they played the Giants. I can't front because I was obviously Giants. But when they played the Eagles in the Super Bowl, like and he loses, right? But he balls out, right? He throws for 500, 3 touched. He has one bad play where he's trying to force it, right? They're down 8. He's trying to force it. And like, he lost to a backup. I'm like, he didn't lose to the backup, though. The team lost.
The defense still got to play defense.
Defense didn't do their job, right? He did his job. But it's like, we like seeing guys, like too many, I feel like, like seeing people drop, like Tiger Woods, like, but then when we like to see,
they come back up
and come back. They love that story, but like they love tearing them down. I feel like they do that with LeBron. Like, they love when he loses. It's like, damn, but he lost 6 times. Like, yeah, but the first time he went against San Antonio, right? He going to San Antonio, like, come on, like they were not beating. Like he's playing with guys that like Sasha Vujic is like he's playing with guys that like, all right, come on, like the fact they took them to the finals is a right. You could put the Dallas one on him, right? That all right, he didn't.
You can put that on. All right, you can put that on. What to do.
But then he comes back the next 2, wins it. All right, then but then the first one with the Cavs, right? He comes back.
The Warriors. He loses to a tough.
Love's hurt. Yeah. He almost wins Finals MVP. Right? They almost said, "Yo, we might have to give him Finals MVP because he's averaging 36, 10, and 10." But somehow to give it to Iguodala for stopping him, which I never understand.
Yeah,
that don't make
sense.
I'm
saying though, the teams crazy. He lost to, he lost a good.
He never lost to Kevin Durant. He lost to Kevin Durant.
He never lost to a team that wasn't like maybe against the Mavs.
If you could put that one, I'll say that. All right,
yeah,
put that Mavs, on, and he would tell you that. He didn't ball out,
But you losing to Kevin Durant, Stephen Clay.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Especially the last time you lost, like you went to the finals with JR, Tristan Thompson, George Hill,
and they almost won that game. Right? He had 50.
You know what I'm saying? Like
JR doesn't do what he does.
You gotta know going in. Like people just watching basketball, you're not winning that series. Like going into this Lakers Heat series, like obviously you got faith in the Heat because Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
Butler was killing.
Yeah.
But if you just know basketball, you're not beating AD and LeBron with Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, like especially like Bron. This, like I said, it's his 10 finals. He just know how to win in these situations now.
Yeah.
So like he's gonna win. Like it is what it is.
And he just makes everyone better too. I think that's what
it's hard. It's hard to be bad with him. If you look bad with LeBron, you're just not good at all.
Exactly right, and like he's just tremendous. People need to appreciate Bron more. That's it, and I've learned to appreciate him more. But this was a fun conversation, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. You know, and
Thanks
chopping it up.
Me.
Yeah, no doubt. But before I let you go for real, what's the one thing, you know, how anxious are you for, you know, for next month, the draft process and all that? Like how amped are you? You know, it's you know, it's 7 months, you know, it's probably, you know, a few months longer than you expected, you know,
right.
But you know, how anxious are you? You know, we're like less than a month away from the draft. You know, how, you know, what's the nerves like? Are you feeling anxious?
I'm anxious, but it's like one of them anxious, like I just wanted to be here so I can play. I'm not nervous. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I ain't been doing nothing but getting ready. So, I mean, if you prepare the right way and you know what you'll be able to do, you just go out there and do that. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to the experience. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I'm looking forward to the challenge, but I'll be ready though. So exactly. I'm ready.
Yeah, you've definitely been prepared. You know, you're definitely prepared. So I love the story you told. You know, like you persevered from a lot of things. You know, like you said, a lot of kids would have just, you know, that first going to Memphis and then that not working out. People, you know, a lot of kids would have just went downhill. Just like, you know, but you were able to persevere and you know, be able to have a successful, you know, finish out your college career, have a successful career. So I'm definitely rooting for you big time. You know,
appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm definitely rooting for you next month, and hopefully we get to hear your name. You know, I think that you know, definitely
be tough. Yep,
would be dope. So you know, like I said, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So just make sure to be safe. You know, and like I said, good luck. Good luck with everything, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yep, thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, yep.